so fest du kannst. Augen zu und auf zum Untergang. Nimm mich mit ins Metaverse. Dort wo der Mensch hingehört. Oh, nimm mich mit ins Metaverse. Nimm mich mit ins Metaverse. Dort wo der Mensch hingehört. Oh, nimm mich mit ins Metaverse. Gott weiß ich, ob mich selbst zerstört.
Warte, Moment.
What a party, what a night.
Was hast du jetzt gesagt?
But where are though? Romeo, where's this beautiful, this strong guy I met on the dance floor?
Und
Romeo was his name, I think.
Oh, Juliet, sweet Juliet, I will never forget the day I met you. But where are thou? You're the
My ears
sweetest
have
girl.
yet not hear this sound, but is it you, Romeo? I
Yes,
do know this voice.
here I am. My heart is jumping. If I see you up there, I can't believe it's true. My hands are shaking. I can't believe that you're really there.
You're the Montague. Romeo here.
Yes, I am. I have to admit. Unfortunately, I'm not so secure in the text of Shakespeare, but I have prepared something for you. If you allow, I would like to perform.
Let me hear your voice. Whatever you have to tell me, I'm here for you. I won't let you go ever again.
Okay, here it is, my love. Amore mio, mio amore, amore mio, mio amor, amore, amore mio, mio amore, mio amor.
Romeo, I would love to hug you.
Yeah, so why don't you?
Let's
Because
try
I
this.
am not Romeo.
yeah, thank you very much. Can the Metaverse act as a theater stage? This question will answer our two speakers, Thomas Zorbach and Anne Seubert. Anne Seubert, founder of Brands and Places, and Thomas Zorbach, founder of managing partner of VM People. The stage is yours.
Thanks, Marcus. I especially like how you pronounce my second name, Zorbach. Reminds me of my time in the US. So, Anne, after doing this kind of courageous intro, why are we here tonight?
To give bad examples and to explore with you the possibilities of a stage that you can build your own. You can use whatever you find in this world and you can build new ones. Why do we do so? Because we had some kind of an experience this year, right?
Yes, totally true. Some weeks ago in May, we had the great pleasure to host a workshop. Do you want to tell us what this workshop was about?
But before so, I'm looking for our audience here in the room. Who of you would call him or herself a theater maker, an actor, an author?
Please
Yes.
raise your hand. Do some gestures if you are a theater maker.
Give us hearts, hands, waves.
Christopher, where are your hands? I know that you're a theater maker.
And all the other ones like to play, I hope, because that's what we will do today. Thomas and I are lovers, not of giving talks, but to play with our audience, to create immersive experiences for us. And that was why we were asked by a theater in Berlin, where we both are based, Berliner Festspiele. You can see the building, the gorgeous building actually from West Berlin on the first slide. Give a workshop, not any kind of workshop, but a workshop that would invite the participants into the metaverse and let them explore together what it could give for new possibilities to act, to express yourself, to interact with other actors, with the people formerly known as audience. Let's put it that way. So that will be you. And as we do like to create such kind of workshops tonight, this won't be a talk only, although it's called a talk, but you have to be prepared to actually play and experience it for yourself.
Do some acting. Anna, you just mentioned the participants of our workshop. The participants, the group of participants was kind of special, right?
Yeah, I mean, to start with the building or the hub where we had the honor to give this workshop in May, actually. It's a theater, but it's also a hub for all things new that happens in the theater world. And once a year, they host a festival, a gathering of young theater makers for 1 week to actually show their productions. They are, of course, curated. They are the best of all Germany, come from all over the place. Young people between 12 and 23, and they come to show their productions, but also to learn from each other and to get some new impulses from people like us. So when they asked us, we spontaneously said, yes, of course we want to explore with them the stage in the metaverse and have 4 days together. I think it was about 4 days we shared, but we didn't actually know who would be in the group. We actually didn't even know if any of them would like to come and join us. But what happened, Thomas?
Yeah, for me, when you asked me to join this workshop, you were the one who addressed me. Would you like to join me? Would you like to run this workshop with young theater makers? I was a little bit confused because, of course, I had made some experiences in virtual reality. I guess some of you have experienced the Under presents The Tempest, for example, one major example. But it's a difference from being there in the audience and then being in front of a group of young people. And we had absolutely no clue how experienced they were in virtual reality. And then when we announced this workshop, we were pretty surprised that I guess 20 people signed up for this workshop, right? And they came from all over Germany. Mm-hmm.
They came from all over Germany. They came curious. some were experienced with headsets and joysticks, like very experienced, like more experts than we are. You can imagine 12, 17-year-old guys. Let's point out
like this guy here.
He told us everything about the metaverse we wanted to know, or not wanted to know actually, but to give you an idea of what happened. So we came up with our idea of the workshop. Then the people signed up and more or less came. The group that you have been seeing here was actually the real group. We had 12 participants. The youngest one were 13, the oldest one were 23. Some of them needed help because it was an inclusive workshop, so we had to prepare to have participants that would not be able to speak English or understand English. You all had the experience of set up your headset and your VR joysticks. So English is a must actually when entering the metaverse. They came with their teachers to help them through the workshop. As said, we had people there super experienced and some that had never had a VR headset at all and no idea about virtual worlds. So our first
I remember when the situation when they all put their headset on for the first time. That was a critical moment in our workshop, right?
Yeah, there were some of them actually, but the group you have been seeing was the real one actually. Those were the people, I think, on this first day we spent with onboarding, with getting your head into this world. And the world was this one, the one you are in today with us as well. This is outside, you might have noticed. Those were the 12 participants, and they had set up their avatars.
Right, and what was surprising for me compared to other audiences, Anne, myself and my team from VM People are in the business of onboarding people in the metaverse all the time. And usually it takes a couple of minutes or let's say an hour if we have an audience like 30, 40 plus. But it was really astonishing how fast these guys got used to the technology. Is that right?
That is right. So young brain cells combined with creative brains, because within an hour they were actually expressing themselves, singing, using the space that we're giving to us. And yeah, I think we learned as much as they did.
When they were singing even better than I did in this intro I gave you. Anna, we came up with a specific idea for the workshop, a task, right? That we thought of would be a good idea. And do you want to tell us something about the task that we were giving them?
You make us time traveling, Thomas. Yeah, we thought, of course, we need a challenge, right? We can't just let them explore with no goal to aim for, and it must be some kind of a learning journey included, of course, but we also wanted to have fun. And from the organizer of the festival, we were actually giving the task to have a kind of showing at the end of those 4 days. That would mean, and that is something you have to be aware of when preparing a play in the metaverse, in the virtual world. You might have to face an audience that is partly with you in this world, like we are, and partly outside of this world, sitting on their desktop, sitting on their sofa, like today, some of you guys, not here in the room, but on YouTube, are listening to us. So we come up with a task. You can read it out here. What could street theater in the metaverse look like, actually? So the task was to prepare a little pop-up theater scene that could be shown somewhere on a place that provides some kind of stage, whatever that might look like in a metaverse. Might be, spoiler alert, might be an island, might be an X. And to show this both to the people in the alt space versum and to their group of peers that was with us at the festival, namely about 100 other young theater makers.
Anne already spoiled the stage we were recommending them. We said, if you do street theater, do it not somewhere, do it at out space. Why? Because usually the campfire is a world where you have a secure audience, like the main street of your town. We assumed whenever they come up with something, we can go there and can show it to the people at the campfire. And yeah, that was basically the idea, give them creative space, let them unfold their ideas, and then perform it right next to the campfire, which you probably know. That was the task we were giving them, I guess, on the second day, right?
But first, we started with exploring, with experimenting, actually, with using the tools you are given here. And you might have experienced some of them already yourself. I don't know if it's the first time you're here. Is there anyone that is a first timer here? Hands up. No. See.
Jan is here for the first time, okay, and Klaus, which I got to know
And Charles.
in advance. It's very nice that you're here. Great. But you said it before we started. With the actual work, we did something that we did some warm-up exercises, and with that we were supported with Christopher, who is also here, who came up with some nice exercises. And as I already announced, this is not a talk. This is actually an interactive session, and therefore I would like you to step down the stairs and join the floor down here, because now we will do the exact same thing we did with our participants in the workshop. We will do some warm-up exercises that are well known in the real world, and let's find out how these exercises work out in the metaverse. Let's start with the first exercise, and you can use now everything. You can use also the stage. I guess you can use it. And the first exercise you do for yourself. Please carry a very, very. Imagine you go to the airport and you have to pay some extra fee because your suitcase is so heavy. Oh yeah, Steffi, that looks like you put all your toys in your suitcase. Oh yeah, I'm sweating a lot. Heading. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, that's so heavy. All right, so okay, let's put away these suitcases. And let's find some breath. So now maybe let's do something that is a little more pleasure. Maybe let's all simulate that we won the lottery. Yeah! Yes, yeah! Use your hands, use your fingers. We did it!
So
yeah, we got
yourself. Exactly.
It's so great. I can buy an island. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next exercise. now you fear of something. You fear of a zombie apocalypse. Please act like as you have a lot of fear. Oh my God. Okay. And now it actually happened. There is a zombie apocalypse. And now we all act like zombies. Please follow me. I'm the head of the group. And please follow me.
Feed me.
Okay, thanks very much, dear zombie herd. It was very nice to watch this from above here. Thanks for participating in these warm-up exercises, which we actually did in our workshop on every day. In the morning, we started our day with warm-ups like in the real world, and to give some insights on how that worked out for the people. I don't know, or we don't know how it worked for you, but compared to what happens in the real world, it was also some fun because you have some means to express yourself that we know from the real world too. You can do gestures with your hands. You can use body language, for example. You can use, of course, your voice. You can do a lot of things that you can also do in the real world when you practice or when you are on stage. That was one huge insight we got. Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, what happened after we did? How did our participants deal with this exercise? Was it very easy? Did they struggle? What was their journey?
I think it was, as you can see here, for all of them, a challenge actually to switch between the two worlds, to find them within one room after being in a virtual world together. And so what we did, of course, divided them into separate rooms to give them space actually to express without any kind of fear to hit someone or to have not enough space to really walk around. Also to use their voice and experiment with that one. And I think for both of us, it was fun to see how fast they actually burst into the new opportunities, and how when they were asked to come back to Berlin, which they liked, of course, how fast they wanted to get back in the virtual world.
That's true. You mentioned the difficulties. Of course, for us as coaches, it was actually a real problem that we couldn't address the people when they were in VR all at once. You know, the problem when you are in a room with other people using a headset, that is causing audio interferences. So we had them to most of the time split up in separate rooms. We were at this theater house you saw, the Berliner Haus der Berliner Festspiele, and we were very lucky that they could provide us like, I don't know, 8 to 10 rooms. We had one huge rehearsal stage, and then up to 10 small rooms where we placed each participant. At the main stage, we had like 2 or 3, only that we could, provide them with a experience that is suitable from the audio perspective. But for us as a coach, as the coaches, it was sometimes difficult to talk then to the whole group, because as you know, young people, young kids, sometimes they get distracted, and it was a little bit hard to manage the crowd from my perspective. Would you agree, Anne?
Yeah, challenges were present, let's put it that way. And also for them, actually, it was interesting that as a group, given this challenge, right, up with play in no time, actually, in just a few days, to do that without actually being in one room, being physically on one stage, but to play while being separated in several rooms, and can only meet actually in a virtual environment.
Right, and the first level in their workshop was actually to come up with an idea for a piece that they would have to perform at the campfire in Alt Space. Then do the whole concept, work it out, create the texts, laying out the scenes. That was the second step, and then practice it. And as you said, they really did well in terms of speed, because they really were very fast in coming up with an idea and then working it out. But a little bit, they had difficulties and struggles then to perform, right? To bring this actually in an order and then bring it on stage, actually.
Yeah, I think it was a roller coaster in terms of emotions, dealing with all the new opportunities and tools. Should we talk about fireworks yet? Everyone who has been to the campfire knows about the fireworks. Very distracting when trying to build a group and to come up with an idea. So what we did was every now and then, every day we had some impulses prepared for them to really get them together and get them on the next level. Because at the end,
right, and the final level was the showing on Wednesday. That is something that we were aiming at. We have to bring our piece to the stage, and it was scheduled, I guess, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and everybody knew, it was announced from the initiators that the VR pieces had to be brought on stage, and that caused a lot of pressure in the last hours. It was getting really hectic.
So what did we do?
We will, before we get to that, I just wanted to mention we did I guess it's called dress rehearsal, in German Generalprobe. I had to look it up. And for us as coaches, looking at this dress rehearsal, it was the total chaos. Nothing worked. People were crying. People were yelling. We as coaches thought maybe we leave. But then we didn't give up and said, well, let's try this. And there's an unwritten rule. Christopher may probably confirm it. A dress rehearsal has to go wrong. If it goes right, it's impossible to bring it on stage later. And this is something we hope for, that it is also in our case, that after this very, very chaotic dress rehearsal, we will bring this piece to stage. But before we do the showing, how about a final a little exercise, what we did with them to encourage and empower them. And therefore, I would once again ask everybody down to the red carpet here, where our friend, the cameraman, who else we got? Please come down. Shell, Björn, please step down here. Don't be afraid. We want to empower you. We don't want to make you feel mad. And I would also ask for 3 volunteers here in the crowd. Who would volunteer? Please raise your hand. You don't have to perform a lot. You just have to show yourself on stage for 5. It will be a nice experience. No spoiler here. Stephanie, Ari, thank you. Please come up to the stage. And how about Shushu? Come on. And please get down here. Get to me. Now the task is the following. As I said, is an exercise which empowers people. And what you have to do now out is cheering whatever the crowd sees. And I show you what you do. Steffi, you will do it then after me. You step in front of the crowd and say, I'm Stephanie. I am a star. And then you start the cheering with all you've got, your voice, gestures, and emojis. Just throw it at Stephanie. So Stephanie, are you prepared? Ready, set, go.
I am
Don't hear you.
Stephanie. I am a star.
Thank you very much, Stephanie, for this great performance. And then let's see our next participant, Ari. Come up to the stage.
I'm Ari. I'm a star.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Thank you very much, Ari. And then we got our third participant. Here is the great, the only, Shushu.
I am Shushu. I am a star.
It's your
Oh,
man.
wow. Yeah, somebody's got stage experience. Yeah, thank you very much. And maybe now you are curious how our showing went. Well, you can stay there. It's no problem. You don't have to sit down. After we empowered our participants the way you did right now. But Anne, the setup of the showing was kind of special, right? It was like the real Metaverse experience because we did it in one piece in 2 stages simultaneously. The actual play took place at the campfire in the Metaverse, but we could manage to also live stream it in the real live theater. As you can see here, this is the audience, and there on the screen, we live streamed the piece. And that was kind of a little bit tricky from the technical side, but we received great support from the guys of the Berliner Festspiele. There was no time to practice this advance on the real stage, and it was a total experiment. There were like, I don't know, but maybe 100, 150 people in the crowd. And in the end, the two of us also got really, really nervous because the possibility that this might be a total disaster was kind of high.
Because imagine, this is what you can see here is the stage, right? And you can see a big screen like we have here, where would we stream actually the play, but the whole group of our team, the actors, they were in their dress rooms, right?
Exactly.
Can you amplify your
So
voice?
no one of them was with us actually in the room. I was announcing, and then the
Nur
first
bist du
question
amplified?
actually. Ja. Hört man mich nicht?
I can hear you. Markus, are there any problems? Can you hear Anne? Please raise your hand. All right.
Can you hear me okay?
Maybe-
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So that happens in the metaverse. People are disappearing, and we were actually a bit nervous that our actors would disappear because they weren't on stage with us. We weren't in the same room with them, but they were all in their separate rooms in the whole building, actually. But in the end, also the timing was like they had to know when to start. So Thomas was with them in the metaverse while I was here in the room and announcing the Ball of Power,
play.
which was the play. And the first reaction I got from the audience was not like curious sounds or whatever, but was like, where are my joysticks? I want to play with them, actually. So people got really hooked in the first seconds.
How about showing the showdown of the play? We got the last 2 minutes of the play. As I said, the showdown. Maybe a little bit about this piece. It's a small piece about a little piece about a man who is looking not for the Holy Grail, but for the ball of power. This is what he is seeking for, and he meets a couple of guys in the metaverse, and then something really surprising happens. And this is what we show you now. For those of you who are not familiar with the German language, it's in German, but you don't miss a lot. You can tell from the scenes what is happening. And we combined it with the audience reaction. So you get a little bit of an impression how the feedback was from the crowd who was there. Wait a second.
Ich will die Kugel der Macht. Nein, kriegst du nicht. Müssen wir wohl kämpfen. Ich werde sie mir holen. Endlich habe ich sie gefunden. So lange habe ich...
Kugel gehört mir.
Was willst du denn jetzt? Du kriegst die Kugel nicht.
Kugel.
Du kriegst die nicht.
Haha,
Ich habe so lange...
die Kugel gehört jetzt endlich wieder.
Nein. Ich habe so lange danach gesucht. Du wirst sie nicht bekommen.
Gehört mir.
Ich bin der Gott des Metaverse. Mir.
Du kriegst die Kugel nicht.
Gib mir die Kugel oder ich werde sie mit Gewalt holen.
Nein, du kriegst die Kugel nicht.
Ich werde sie vernichten.
Nein, tu es nicht.
Was soll das? Was machst du da?
Nein, was hast du getan? Bist du verrückt?
Ich habe das Metaverse gerettet.
Und Ende.
in destroying the Powerball, he was saving the Metaverse. Actually, that was the final scene.
Yes, and actually, this was also the final scene of our workshop. It all culminated in the situation where people, our crew, had to face their own fear, not only to get on stage, to get on a virtual stage for the first time, something that I haven't done before, and something that only a very few people have done before. And these guys were really, really courageous, and it meant
Jetzt
a
gleich
lot for
Q&A.
them
Guck mal, dass
to
du
be
gleich vielleicht so ein bisschen das Publikum mit reinbekommst.
pioneers. And yes, maybe before we get to our learnings, Anne, maybe let's ask our audience if there are some questions at this point. We are close to the end of our talk. We will not leave you without our learnings, but maybe you would like to join in, as this is an interactive talk, and ask some questions.
You can raise your hand, actually.
Yeah, as you can see, you
Yes.
can now use the raise hand feature and ask questions. And if there are any questions, I will let you free to speech. We have already one question from Shushu. Shushu, you should be online now.
Hello. Thank you very much. Guys, so it's great to see you. Last time I was in Berliner Festspiele building was in 2018 when I had a meeting with Thomas Zorbach and Tom Tikva regarding a project that Berliner Festspiele was producing, so Freiheit Berlin, DAO. So I have a big sentiment. Yeah, I was artistic director in DAO. So I have a big sentiment to your building and to your festival and to your activities. And I was wondering, first of all, if you were thinking about creating some VR festival there. And the other question is, I think, has to do more with the philosophy. As you're people of theater, you based everything you do on the actor. Everything starts and ends in the actor on stage. However, in VR, you might not really need the actor. Well, you might not need the stage. For sure, not a stage like this where we are standing, because as Shakespeare says, all the world is a stage, so the VR world is a stage. We can do much better in VR, right? On the stage today, even in performances in Berlin, Faust is Faust on the stage, right? But in VR, you can fly with Faust. So there are many things that will change the whole interpretation. The question is about acting, because I can see that new technologies arriving, full tracking and all that, but eventually, maybe someday, the Craig theory about the Uber marionette will realize itself here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anna,
Yeah,
you want
wow,
to
thank you
address
so
this
much.
question?
And I love the idea of a VR festival. And I think it is not set up yet, but we know you as a supporter, and we will talk this with the Berliner Festspiele with our next meeting ahead, I think next month. Looking forward to this already, actually, because actually, while this workshop was happening, we were already with a group of people we had around us and with all the other ones, glimpsing, getting some sneak peeks before the showing already. It was quite an interest doing more and building a group of like-minded ones, having rehearsals once a month or something, right?
Yes, I totally agree. I think the metaverse, in terms of opportunities to play theater, is in our hand. We can do something with it, or we can leave it. And to address the second philosophical part of your question, actually, to my mind, the metaverse is a cultural space that is evolving here. And why do we not do it, as Shakespeare said, and make this a stage? I don't know how you experience the exercises we did. There are means to express yourself. There are means to interact with other people, with avatars. There are means to bring a play onto a virtual stage. And why do we not explore the opportunities? Of course, we can wait until the algorithms, until the robots take over, and we all are only participants. But I would really like, more the idea to be proactive, explore, discover what are the opportunities for theater, for acting in this virtual world.
The culture wars, I'd like to call it.
Yeah, the word fair.
Sounds like a much better name. So we have another request from Stefan. Stefan, you can now talk.
Hi, everyone. So I have a question about if you know any theater which is combining a real stage with a combination of part of the whole acting in Metaverse or a third level solution, because I heard from the Staatstheater Augsburg, they playing one thing which is not really live. They just pre-recorded the sessions in VR, and then they just let people know, or the attendees, that they should now take the VR goggles under their seat and then take it on. But have you heard of any other theater which is combining really, so the actor is on the stage and then afterwards just jump into the metaverse and then they screen it, the metaverse? Any stuff from that for now, or?
To be honest, what I have experienced yet is the art theater. I have not experienced yet so many crossover experiments, but we also got Christopher here. I now address you as an expert in this field, because you always monitor what is happening in your field. Christopher is a theater guy with a lot of experience in the past. Do you have you come to know of any experiments like that?
Christopher, if you
Where is Christopher?
may you raise your hand?
Christopher's here.
Thank you.
Okay, on air. Bin ich hörbar? Ja, ne?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Ja, Theater experiment, usage of virtual experimenting and doing crossover stuff. I should show links or videos about it. They try to blend it, that the audience is in a room and they have headsets and switch between the reality and the virtual world. But it's very complicated, and you need a lot of space, like in our theater workshop here, where the actor have a lot of space, and yeah, to explore it. It's still a very new field, as Shushu explained. So to totally think fresh about theater and about the actor, and that we can become the actor and become active in the scene. Like maybe we have to experiment and blend like a multiplayer game experience with the storytelling or the interactivity of theater. So it's a very fresh field with a lot of experiments and room and a lot of space for fresh ideas, experiments, as Thomas said. We should explore it together, Shushu, Thomas, Anne, everybody. Yeah.
Sure. And what I can think of is to just drop a buzzword here, the teleport thing that Microsoft is working on, where you have like real life manifestations of people here in VR. And if you, this is sort of a crossover that I can imagine, where you have these real life people then on some stage, on some virtual stage, and like here, the virtual world in the background. This could be also something that could be inspiring to use in the future. But I guess we got some more questions, Markus, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have one question from Stefan, but he was already on air. Stefan, you can talk again if you have a question.
So I was already on air, but I also have another question for Christopher. So as Christopher said, there were a lot of VR festivals in the past when the pandemic starts, and then there were really some social VR events where common 360 videos and experiences were shown. And then you just had the possibility to watch it together, which also was a way of involvement into 360 experiences. So and the combination of it would be really then combine it with the real stage acting, but the story has to be rewritten again and adapted to that kind of mix of the stage and of the world in general. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe it's a good point
Christopher,
to.
You are on air again. Not on air. Okay. Then I think we have another.
Markus, ich bin jetzt, glaube ich, oder?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a concept. You imagine a room, you enter a neutral theater space, you get into this space, and it's like in this workshop at Berliner Festspiele. You have a place, you get a VR headset, and then you have a story inside VR and explore the story. And in the end, there's an avatar or an actor in this story and tells you, hey, come on, let's remove the headset and join me. And then everybody removes the headset, and then the room is changed and you're in a totally new room, and everything around the neutral room you've been the first is now something else. It's now a bar. Now you are in a concert venue or somewhere else. You have also the first level of immersion into the VR world, and then the second level changed room around you, so you can really create different levels of reality when you mix reality and virtual reality to a great experience. So there's a lot of room and a lot of space for new stuff.
Okay, Shushu, did you want to add something to this discussion? Yes. Okay. And after this, Charles, I did not forget you, but in my list, Shushu was the first. You should be on air, and we should be hearing you. Right.
Okay, I'm here.
No.
So,
Okay.
thank you very much. I did not want to ask an answer, but to respond to Stefan' question about mixing virtual reality with real life. So, as you know, we have a break now in the theater season, but in the end of the last season, there was a performance in the city where I live, in Krakow. I believe it was Midnight Dream by Shakespeare. And they combined virtual reality. It was a real performance on the stage. They combined virtual reality on the stage. So the actors, in order to go to the other dimension in the forest, as in the tale of Shakespeare, they would wear virtual reality headset, and the image that they see together as a group of actors on stage would be projected on a screen, so the audience can see what is their virtual reality, and that was in a sense the interpretation of this play.
This sounds really nice. Charles, do you want to add something to this conversation?
Yeah, I just want to comment that there's so much more you can explore that's been done before as well, especially in here. I mean, if you just YouTube Neverland Live VR, it's a full play based on the story of Peter Pan that was done here in Altspace in December 2020. I was actually casted in that play. I played Captain Hook in that play because I have about 4 years of theater experience, and I'm a SAG actor part-time. So I do like commercials works, a couple of things. So December, around April, May, June 2020, when I saw the auditions, I said, this is brilliant. Bringing the theater into VR aspect, I did the audition, and it was easy for me as an actor, especially involved in VR, to, get the mannerisms of, the whole blast up Peter Pan, and get the whole, like I do as an actor, sink into the character, into the script, into the story. And I was comfortable because what in that one was, we used MREs, right? Which is program SDKs. I made a couple of things where, for instance, for scene 1, it would be the bedroom. Then when the curtains close, it'll disappear, and you press a button, and then the Jolly Roger appears, right? And we had singing, we had dancing, we had, my interaction with the character of Shmi, and then we followed up with another one called Agrabah Live, where it was a full, the first scene was literally the Cave of Wonders with the talking lion's head going, "Who dares come into," the full interaction and everything. So it's been done. It's just there's certain ways in VR you could do so much more. I actually built a theater in here that I based off a template I did off a client job called the Cascade Theater of Performing Arts. My hopes is that theater is used for a large production here in VR. It's actually still in here. We just haven't really utilized it yet because you need a cultivation of people, just like in those productions. You need ideas, you need people, you need the workload, the labor to make it all happen. But if you YouTube Neverland Live VR, the first 3 full shows are in there, and it was successful. It was fun.
Oh,
Oh, thank you so much.
sounds, yeah, very, very awesome. I realized there was a full play of Peter Pan in 2020 here.
Yeah, 4 shows. We had like 125 people per show. We did A and everything. We even have outfits. Like we had the full MREs where any scenes that I would appear, my a 3D model of a Hook that I sculpted, right? Because I helped out with that, would just appear on me as Captain Hook, and I had the full Hook wardrobe. For Agrabah Live, I actually was AD, assistant director, but I also played the Sultan. So my Sultan apparel will come on, and then I have to just give life to the character. Hey, Jasmine, my daughter, and sink into that character to play it. and we had the trumpets. Even for the Prince Ali scene, we had like an elephant walk by. It was all programmed in there, and we all we had dancers come out doing Prince Ali, and there was a full ensemble, and then they would disappear. Same thing for Friend Like Me. It took like 3 months of planning, but we would meet in here, rehearse. We'd go on Discord video and do read-throughs, but it was great.
So I guess you also would be a supporter of a festival, of a theater festival. You could maybe
as an
set up
actor
someday. Or do you know
as
that
an
people are working on that already?
No, I don't know that. The only thing I do here in Altspace, it's one of the platforms that I do. I do 3D programming and design, so I build worlds for clients and things like that, like professional clients. But I only come in here because I have a podcast in here called Talking Ish, where I built a podcast studio and we record every Wednesday. We have tonight. Me and my co-host Anne, her name is Psycho. She's been in theater for 25 years. So she would, she's very big on theater. We actually did Neverland Live and Agrabah Live together, and we're trying to do some other stuff. That's the only thing I do in here right now. Is we record the podcast in the metaverse in our studio, right, with screens, and we on YouTube, fully edited and everything.
Great.
Thanks for making us aware of is going on elsewhere already. Very, very inspiring. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Stefan?
So, yeah, just one question to Charles. It sounds really great what you have done, and I didn't knew that they just played Peter Pan here. So one question: did everything happened in Altspace itself, or did you also use another platform, similar one? Or here, just here. He's muted, I think. I can imagine what you're saying. So just did it here, right?
Exactly.
All right, seems that they just did it
yourself.
here in Altspace. Right. And it worked well.
There we go. Yeah, it worked well.
Ah, nice.
It was in a theater, right, called the Mythical Theater, and it was a nice, well-designed theater. And we had all the MREs coming because they were all programmed, so everything was programmed in there. Where in the back we had somebody in charge. Where we had a schedule. They were looking at the schedule. Okay, scene 1, this is that, and they'll know to spawn in the palace. They'll know to spawn in this. They'll know to spawn in the Jolly Roger for Neverland. And we did it all in here. And so there was like I said, there was a stage I built in here, a theater that, you guys are more than welcome to see. It's called the Cascade Theater of the Performing Arts. And my hopes is that it's utilized, right? And a lot of people, well, how much would that cost? I go, no, I wouldn't charge anybody for that. I just would love to see theater and a great produced performance come back to VR. Yeah, raise that awareness. Like I didn't build that theater for that. I already do what I do. I want to see that as an actor, as a thespian myself. I would love to see that come to fruition.
Yeah, nice. Because I'm just also consulting some theaters in Germany and try to convince them that they just really, because they are afraid that the classical theater houses gonna just go down, and
they are
just try to.
Everything classical. Well, the thing is, as we transcend to this whole virtual aspect, is going to take the same evolutionary line as, for instance, we don't have here in the US, we don't have tolls now, man-made tolls. We have machines.
Yeah.
We don't have physical blockbusters. We have Netflix. It is just the transcendent of time. Things move forward, and now theater as an art will not die because it is still us behind these headsets. However, the physical location, when you can spawn and create the theater, you save money. You save travel costs. And for instance, everybody from the cast for all over the world, we had people on cast who were jumping on from Europe. They were coming in from Europe. So imagine, to that, if we did this all personally, Berlin. Yeah. So that thing is, it's like I said, everything physical will eventually, this is the way. This is why I do what I do. Is this is the way the world's heading as far as communications, business. It's all happening in the metaverse.
Yeah.
The same way we got used to phone apps, and we said that was crazy 25 years ago, and now we live on there. Look where the world will be in 20 years. I guarantee it'll be every household will have a thinner headset, etc. That's it.
Yeah. It's really great. Adding to our event here, I will now toggle the mute all off, so everyone can talk with each other. And I will suggest you add the conversations with each other. Thank you very much for being a part of the X Talk. Anne, Thomas, nice to have you here. It was a really great conversation about theaters, and it was a really interactive talk. I very appreciate this. Thank you very much. For all of you other folks, there are the XPeats in around quarter hour. There will be a DJ and a little bit of dancing. All of you who want to join us is warmly welcome. Thank you very much, and we see each other in the next month on next talk.
September 8th. And thanks very much, dear audience, for being here. Really appreciate it. Anna, thanks very much for doing this with me, or should I say Juliet? And these are the takeaways and the learnings. It was really great to do this with you. Thanks very much, and see you again someday here in the Area X on this stage, or at 10 o'clock at the party with DJ Illuminati. Bye-bye. Hi, Klaus.
Yo.
Stage is yours. Thank you.